TipTut.
Hello everybody and welcome back to TipTut and welcome back to A Few Minutes of Design. You know the deal by now. We take a look through Emily Campbell's A Few Minutes of Design exercises and we do one each week. This week it looks like it is flat to 3D. Draw each of the flat pieces from which you think the three-dimensional object on the other side of this card is constructed. Oh cool, and it is a medieval helmet. No worries, let's jump right into it then. This will be episode 7, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, we're back in the paper notebook now. Thank you for putting up with me, I suppose, whilst I did the review for the remarkable tablet. It should be up on the channel now, if you wanted to take a look at it. So, as far as I can see, it looks like this might be made of a few main segments. There's going to be this visor segment along the bottom here, like a complete turnaround, or at least these little divots, these little rivets here might look like the front half of this helmet is one folded piece and the back half is another. And then a further top piece helmet as well. So let's take it from the top down then. I think the top of this helmet, if we just take this piece by piece, I think the top of this helmet is probably likely to be something like this. And then you can see that at the edges there's a divot either side, a rivet, sorry. So I think it'll probably be something like this, with like a lip and a gap so that it can be curved around the head, like so. And then along each of these there will be a series of holes for each of the bolts, rivets, whatever you want to call them, going through the top of the helmet. And then there is like a hammered out segment once it hits in the middle to hammer out for this sort of lump along the top here. I think then that would be attached to the two halves of the helmet that make up the front and the back. So this would be the top segment, like so. This front segment then would probably consist of a folded piece of sheet metal that looks something like this. And again, I'm going into this blind, so this is probably wrong. Something like that with a fold in the middle. Again, there seems to be a row of holes to attach either side. Now this would only be 180 degrees, from edge to edge. It wouldn't be the whole of the helmet, I don't think. At that fold, there would then be rivets here and a large hole in the fold to take this main rivet, like so. On the back then, this would be the front. On the back then, I'd say there's something similar, but a lot deeper, and curls around to protect the back of the neck. Maybe something like that, with another fold going down the middle, and very similar setup for those rivets down the side. There'd also probably have to be a series along the top to take into account these from the top segment of the helmet. Now, that takes care of this top segment, this portion, and the back side. Then the front side of the helmet, the face guard section, I think if we take it from the center, like so, we have something like this, with a curved section. And now this is still 2D, but I think these curves are actually going to have to be built into the metal in order for it to become circular in nature. They'd have to like slant upwards slightly, I still think. This would then have to come down like so. Again, there'd be some kind of fold in the middle with a pointed mouth segment like so. And then these series of cutouts that seem to run through the entire front of the mask. Like so. So they run in rows along there. and then a series of joins to connect to these parts on either side, like so. And I think these would be the little divots. So these would be little gullies in here, which would make up the eyes. And all in all, that should make, to my mind at least, something that looks vaguely like the attached. Like so. Looks like he's wearing glasses. Like shades, like cool guy shades. And I think that is probably it. I'd say that those are the pieces. There'd also be a series, of course, of the actual bolts in place. How they'd stay in place, maybe in like a sort of hammered washer system, maybe. Or maybe they'd be like split, like so. And then as they were hammered in, you'd go to inside of the helmet and you'd flatten it out like that, maybe. So this would become that. I don't know. I have no idea how these sort of things are put together. But hey, pretty good. Nice quick one this week, actually. I quite like that. Flat to 3D. Gets you thinking about how this sort of stuff, the components and things, and that can be applied to a lot of things. Really cool. That's it. Wow, nice and short then. Lovely. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time on TipTut.
Remember to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Thanks for watching.